Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Trials of Diaboros, which is going to be coming out soon for the global version of the game. It's been a while since we've gotten a Trials from an Esper for the World of Illusions, but it is pretty cool that we're going to be doing one for Diaboros, who for a while is actually going to be the final summon that we can unlock within Dissidia Opera Omnia. This actually goes for JP as well. They haven't gotten another summon after Diaboros. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Trials of Diaboros. So this event will allow us to collect the materials needed to upgrade the Diaboros summon from levels 1 through 20. This gives us a chance also to earn the achievements for this event, to be rewarded with gems, tickets, etc., all that good stuff. The boss for this is actually going to be Phoenix, and this is very interesting because Phoenix itself in other Final Fantasy iterations is actually also a summon, so kind of cool that we're going up against that as a boss. And then the final stage for this is going to be an EX stage that's actually at level 100 rather than level 70 compared to the previous Summon Trials event. So that's quite interesting from this one, that this one is going to be at level 100. But I get it, because now we're we're in the level 60 era, it's a little bit better at least for these to be a little bit more challenging versus the previous ones. And then, as we all know, for World of Illusions events, all characters are going to have synergy, meaning they're going to have increased stats for this event. Now, talking about the summon itself, so this summon is going to be Dark Elemental. He's going to be our Dark Summon. His ability is, when you summon him, he deals dark physical brave damage to all enemies, and he also grants the party the dark element to their brave attack. So pretty standard when it comes to an elemental summon. And then his blessing increases the damage dealt by elemental weakness attacks when HP is 50% or less. Now, what are my thoughts on this particular summon? I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like the requirement for that blessing, because generally when you're doing a very difficult type of a stage, like let's say like a Lost Chapters level 100 or a difficult EX stage, you don't want your HP that low, because first of all, you might miss out on the HP damage requirement, and generally you never want your HP that low. Now, I could see maybe some certain situations, if you're up against a boss that loves to use HP attacks, maybe this could come in handy, but this might be a summon that is very situational. But other than that, it's still pretty cool that we're getting Diaboros as a summon. So the boss itself, like I said, is going to be the Phoenix boss. This boss is resistant to fire and holy elements. It is weak to the dark element, and it does have that standard chase HP value of 40. It primarily utilizes fire and some holy brave magic attacks. Now, a lot of these attacks are actually going to be single target or AoE HP attacks, and for the level 100 EX, it actually begins by doing an AoE HP attack to the entire party, so you want to keep that in mind. It has two stances that it switches between, called Tranquil and Brilliant stances. When it's in its Tranquil stance, it's going to be vulnerable to melee brave attacks, and then in its Brilliant stance, it's going to be vulnerable to range and magic brave attacks, and it also has an HP regen, so it recovers HP each turn. It also does revive itself once after you completely deplete its HP, so again, like the Phoenix in other Final Fantasy lore, it makes sense that it does have to revive itself. And then watch out for a unique debuff that it inflicts where it depletes the HP per turn. So right now in Global, we have the Marlith Gloria boss from the Beatrix event. She also has this particular unique debuff where it's pretty much like a poison, but this time it's to their HP. So you want to keep that in mind when you're going up against the Phoenix boss. Now, coming in with this World of Illusions, we do have a weapon summon banner. The new weapon on this is going to be the 15 CP Schwarz Lance for Edgar. This 15 CP passive will be raising all party members' max brave and attack when an enemy is debuffed. That's actually pretty good, especially if you like using Edgar in your party. Now, other weapons featured may be subject to change on Global. So I know in JP they got Onion Knight and Dark Knight Cecil as well, but for this one it might change. We have seen that they do change like one or two of the characters, but generally the one that you want to focus on is the new one, which is for Edgar. Now, should you pull on this banner, if you are an Edgar main or Edgar is a character that you have fully built up, this is actually a pretty good weapon for him as far as passive wise. But if you guys want to hold on to your gems, because we know that we're also going to be getting some EX weapons very soon with the upcoming Awakening Batch 5, then you might want to just probably spend some tickets and hope to get Edgar's weapon, but this is not a must pull, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, if we do get a free pull on this because we are in the anniversary of the game, then hey, that's awesome. Go ahead and at least do the free pull. Now, some final thoughts and tips. I highly encourage everybody, as when this event goes live, to level Diaboros all the way to 20. And the reason behind this is that there are limited time rewards for doing that, so you want to be sure to do that. And then for summons, when you're actually tackling the Phoenix, Ifrit and Alexander are really not ideal due to the boss's fire resistance and holy resistance. Now you can argue that, hey, maybe I just won't summon Ifrit and I'll just take advantage of the attack buff. Well, the problem is this boss likes to deal a lot of HP damage, so it's kind of defeating the purpose of using Ifrit. If you want to use another summon besides Diaboros, you can always go with Bahamut or Brothers. Those are some pretty good summons to bring. And then bringing a healer can actually help deal with the majority of the Phoenix boss's attacks, as they do heal HP damage. And then don't forget, it does have that unique debuff where it depletes your HP per turn. Alright guys, I will show off the Diaboros level 100 EX stage event on my JP account. That way you guys get a visual showcase for the Phoenix boss and what's to come for this World of Illusions event. Let's go ahead and move on to that. Alrighty guys, here we are with my JP account with the gameplay showcase for the upcoming World of Illusions Trials of Diaboros event that's going to be going live on the global version of the game soon. Now remember, the EX stage for this is going to be at level 100 versus the other World of Illusion event Trials where they were only at level 70. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging for us global players. Now, for my party, I am going to be taking Vincent. The reason why I'm taking him is we know that he's going to be awakening soon in the global version of the game, but on JP, he did receive his rework, and he actually does have an EX. I don't have it, but hey, I'm going to take him along. I'm going to be taking Selfie, who's at level 70, and I'm going to be taking Locke, because Locke is a character we have yet to see in global, but we should be seeing him soon. And then for the summon, just for the theme of this video, I'm going to be taking Diaboros, since we know that the boss is weak to it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. There's going to be 4 waves, so like all the other EXs, they're usually like bosses now. The first one is going to be standard. It's going to be your basic behemoth. It shouldn't be too much trouble. Alright, and because I know the boss is resistant to fire, I am going to be using Deadly Beast Flare throughout these first waves, so then that way I can save Live Wire Shot for the actual boss. And as you can see, he did get a rework. You can see how much damage that he does now. It's pretty crazy how much damage that he does. And for this gameplay showcase, I know this is looking really, really easy. To be honest, it's probably going to be easy for us, even for the global version of the game. But again, remember, when I do these showcases, it's meant to be a visual showcase, so you guys kind of get to see how the boss functions or how these events work before we actually see them on live on the global version of the game. So what's cool about Wave 3 is we're fighting against brothers, which I think is really, really cool. I think this is a ploy on Final Fantasy VIII, because both of these summons were in Final Fantasy VIII, both Diaboros and Brothers. So that's kind of cool that the wave before the Phoenix is the brothers. Alright, so here we are. This is going to be the Phoenix boss, which is going to be a brand new boss for us global players. So remember, it has 2 different stances. Tranquil stance means that it's going to be more vulnerable to physical attacks, and then afterwards, when it goes into its brilliant stance, it gets that HP regen, and it's also going to be more vulnerable to range and magic attacks. And as you can see, like I mentioned in the discussion, it's going to start off with an AoE HP damage attack. What it'll do is it'll increase its Brave with a Brave Battery, and then deal divided AoE HP damage. So you just want to keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and combat this boss now. We're going to use Live Bar Shot because it does resist fire. Selfie. Let's go ahead and get a drain. And the achievements for this boss, it does have a damage HP threshold, so bringing a healer will help deal with that, so then that way when it actually uses those HP damaging abilities, somebody like Selfie can actually help with this. This is Selfie's EX, something that she has yet to get in global. What it does is it allows your EX abilities for all party members to charge a bit faster, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and use Locke's EX. We're going to use a Brave attack because I want this boss to actually do something so you guys get to see. Alright, so there we go. It increases Brave. And then when it does that little dive where it comes back, that's where it changes its stances. So it should be in its brilliant stance right now. We'll get to see that. Let's see if this range attack is so damage. Yep, there you go. So it's in its brilliant stance. So now it's going to be having that HP regen, and it's also going to be more vulnerable to range and magic attacks. So if we use Locke's melee attack here, as you can see, it didn't say weak because it's not vulnerable to it because it's in its brilliant stance. That is why Vincent is such a good debuffer, because he makes anybody with that debuff from the live wire shot hit like a toothpick, so pretty cool. And there you go. As you can see, it also inflicted the unique debuff that it does, where it's essentially like an HP dot, where it depletes HP from that party member per turn. So that's also why it's very important to bring a healer, so then that way you don't miss out on the HP damage threshold that you're allowed in order to clear this event. Okay, so now it revived itself, and when it does revive itself, it does hit you with an AoE Brave attack, so you want to be aware of that. This is where we're actually going to go ahead and heal, get everybody's health back up. Let's see what Vincent here. Let's go ahead and apply live wire shot again. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and use this. We're gonna drain again. And one thing you do want to keep in mind is that if you do have any debuffs on it and it revives itself, it actually will also remove all of the debuffs on it. So it's essentially like we all know, the Phoenix from the lore of Final Fantasy, it revives itself. So we're gonna go ahead and apply wall here. And like as you can see, that HP dot really is a bit annoying because you're getting your HP drained every single turn. So something that you want to be aware of before you're combating this boss. Still in its brilliant stance. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna summon Diaboros. Why not? And that cool animation is there when you summon him, which I do like. I do like how they added that flavor there. That's that. So that is going to be the Phoenix boss for the upcoming Trials of Diaboros that will be going live soon in the global version of Opera Omnia. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Be sure to check out my other videos on my channel, and if you are if you're not a subscriber yet, consider subscribing. I do upload a lot of content for Dissidia Opera Omnia. I try to keep it daily. Thank you guys again for watching. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, everyone.